show you how great I am.
I'm gonna float like a butterfly and sting like a bee. I am the king of the world.
And I'm better now. I'm experienced now, professional. I done something new for this fight. I done wrestled with an alligator. Fast. Last night I cut the light off in my bedroom. Hit the switch, was in the bed before the room was dark. I'm so mean, I make medicine sick.
I am the greatest.
G5 Jeff TV, hit the subscribe button, hit the like button. Please share this video, support your boy. Support good content at all times. All social media is in the description box, and please hit that bell icon so you can be notified when I drop that heat. One of the top 3 hottest topics in boxing right now. Errol Spence Jr., Mikey Garcia, pretty much done for December 2018. Supposed to be on pay-per-view. And I dropped a video previously about this topic, got some pretty good buzz on it, and a whole lot of different opinions that I wasn't expecting. Real good conversation in the comment section. But it really got me to thinking, and the question for today is, if Mikey Garcia can pull off an upset versus Errol Spence Jr., is Mikey Garcia number 1 pound for pound? And see, this is why I love the people that's on this channel and the people that get in the comment section and engage, because you guys are the reason and the motivating factor for the different topics that I come up with, and some of the discussions that we have is unlike any other channel. I think it's a legitimate question to ask, because Mikey Garcia, I mean, he could pull off the upset. He could pull it off. I mean, it's not impossible for Mikey Garcia to pull it off. Is he number 1 pound for pound if he beats Errol Spence Jr.? Now, I'm going to come at this from a couple different angles. Number one, I'm going to start with the kind of the history of this type of a weight jump. He will be going from 135 to 147. That's 12 pounds. Now, I'm not going to get too deep in the history in terms of the guys that has actually done it. I will go with the most recent ones. Number 1 is Kell Brook. Kell Brook went up 2 weight classes to go see the baddest man on the planet in Gennady Golovkin. Now, we all know what happened in that fight. We all know what happened in the build-up to the fight. A lot of people were saying, oh, well, the 45-day weigh-in or 30-day check-in, you know, Kell Brook weighs more than Gennady Golovkin. And people was trying to say that was a factor. And like anybody that knows boxing, anybody that knows anything about just the human body, you could just look at Kell Brook and Gennady Golovkin and just tell that Gennady Golovkin is the bigger guy. Bone structure, pause, things like that. And you could have asked the same question with that fight. If Kell Brook would have beat Gennady Golovkin, would you have ranked Kell Brook number 1 pound for pound? I think the overall answer would have been no. Let's go back a little bit further than that. Adrian Broner. He went up 12 pounds from 135 to 147 to go see Chino Maidana. Now, of course, Adrian Broner had to fight with Paulie Malignaggi for the belt at 147. Now, the thing with that is Paulie Malignaggi is not a big 147 pounder. He's not a big puncher. He's a veteran, but nobody really held him in a like star or superstar type status or regard when it comes down to talent. Even though he had a really, really productive career for the skill set that he had and the lack of power. Now, we all know what happened between Adrian Broner and Chino Maidana. We all know what happened. Now, we could have asked the same question there. Would you have ranked Adrian Broner number one pound for pound if he would have beat Chino Maidana? The overwhelming answer would be no. I'll even go. I said I wasn't gonna go back vintage, but I will. Bernard Hopkins, he did it twice. He went up to face Kelly Pavlik, and he also went up to face Antonio Tarver from 160 to 175. Kelly Pavlik, I think, was 160 to 168. We all know what happened in both of those fights. Bernard Hopkins won both of those fights. And you can ask yourself, would you rank Bernard Hopkins number one pound for pound if he beat Kelly Pavlik and Antonio Tarver? And the obvious answer is no at that time. So just because a fighter makes a 12-pound weight jump and faces the best guy or one of the best guys in that weight class does not mean automatically that you're number one pound for pound. So now that I gave you the history, the backdrop, a couple examples of this happening, let's get down to the nitty gritty. Mikey Garcia going up to 147 pounds to face Errol Spence Jr. Now, Errol Spence Jr. is possibly the most avoided guy, or one of the most feared guys. Kind of got the boogeyman status at 147. And there's not anybody really calling Errol Spence out. The only person that has called Errol Spence out is Mikey Garcia. And if you don't like Mikey Garcia, you think he's overrated, underrated, whatever the case may be, we all have to respect this man's gangster. We have to respect this gangster because at the end of the day, there's a lot of people that he could have tried to fight, even at 147, and got good credit for it. He could have just waited for the Danny Garcia, Sean Porter winner and said, okay, I'm going to go after one of these guys. Both of those guys are less dangerous than Errol Spence. Keith Thurman, coming off an injury, he could have said, I want Keith Thurman. I think Keith Thurman would have took that fight. Keith Thurman, as of right now, was less dangerous than Errol Spence because of the inactivity. So for Mikey Garcia to want to go up 12 pounds and to face the baddest man at 147 pounds is legendary type shit. Like, he's really, really trying to be great. He's really trying to be great. And he said in an interview after the Robert Easter fight that he was kind of trying to make up for lost time. And he also seen something in the Errol Spence Lamont Peterson fight that made him think that Errol Spence would be an easy fight. Now, I would love to have a sit down with Mikey Garcia and actually ask him what did he see in that fight that made him think that it would be an easy fight, because whether you like Spence, dislike Spence, you think he's that guy or you think he's overrated, Errol Spence ain't no easy go for anybody. He's no easy go for anybody. He's arguably the number one guy at 147. I would say he's the number one guy right now at 147. For Mikey to say that, I guess from a technical standpoint, I don't see how he came up with that conclusion. And Mikey has fought all different types of styles. He's fought power guys, he's fought speed guys, he's fought guys that's technically sound. He's fought guys with the Mexican style. And I don't know if he looked at Errol Spence tape and just looked at it and said, okay, well, he's pretty basic. He's pretty straight up and down. You know, he cuts the ring off through body shots. Those are Errol Spence attributes. He cuts off the ring better than anybody in the game. And he throws hella body shots. But when you look at Errol Spence, and let me say this before I even get started. When I make opinions about fighters and their fighting style and attributes, it's strictly about the fighting styles and attributes. It doesn't have anything to do with anything else. I'm a big fan of Errol Spence. But the tape don't lie. Tape don't lie. When I watch Errol Spence, and this might be part of what Mikey Garcia is talking about, when you're making a jump to 2 weight classes, you have to look at the guy that you're facing and ask yourself, does he have like something in his arsenal that's absolutely great? And I mean in terms of physical ability. So when you look at Errol Spence on tape, speed, he's not slow, but he doesn't have like a Floyd Mayweather type speed or a Gary Russell Jr. type speed or even an Adrian Broner speed for that matter. He doesn't have that type of speed. Punch variety. I mean, his punches are pretty much, his punch variety is pretty basic. But he places his shots extremely well. Extremely well. Now, his power, I think he has above average power, but I don't think that he has one punch knockout power. And I don't think he has legendary type power. And then you just look at the overall style of Errol Spence. His style is textbook. His style is textbook boxing with power. He's the epitome of what you call a boxer puncher. But when you look at Errol Spence altogether, his style is not unique in terms of awkwardness or creativity. Pretty basic style. We've seen it before. He doesn't have elite level speed, and he has above average power. He has really good power for 147. Like, he's cracking at 147. So I think when Mikey said that he looked at the fight and he against Lamont Peterson and seen some things, I think for somebody that doesn't know Errol Spence that well, when you turn on the tape and you watch him fight, you say he's really, really good. But I think part of Errol Spence's mystique, it comes from people that has watched him his entire career. If you are somebody that's relatively new and you watch Errol Spence Jr., you will look at him and say, okay, well, he doesn't look like the fastest guy in the world. He's not knocking guys out with one shot. He's kind of slowly grinding his guys down. There's not anything about Errol Spence from a physical standpoint. I mean, like God gift, speed, fast footwork, things of that nature. Everything that Errol Spence brings to the table is boxing intellect, punch placement, body punching, above average power, and just being physically strong and winning the mental game. Okay? Now, you look at Mikey Garcia and you look at Mikey Garcia's game, it's similar. Except for Mikey's not a southpaw. When you look at Mikey, Mikey's not the fastest guy in the world. He's doesn't have the greatest footwork. punch variety is not really unique. He's textbook, pretty straight up and down. So I think when Mikey Garcia sees Errol Spence, he sees himself when it comes to boxing style and boxing craft. Now, if Mikey Garcia beats Errol Spence, and I mean convincingly beats Errol Spence, he's number one pound for pound on my list. Point blank, period. Number one pound for pound. I wouldn't even think about putting anybody ahead of him. Now, if he beats Errol Spence in his controversial decision or very tight decision, but he fights a really good fight, I can't drop him no lower than number 2. I mean, the importance of this jump from 135 to 147, the opponent that he's facing is different than when other people have done it. And that's a credit to Errol Spence, and that's how much in high regard I hold Errol Spence, because history tells us that a victory from a smaller guy coming up 2 weight classes doesn't guarantee you a number one pound for pound spot. But in this situation, I think if he convincingly beats Errol Spence Jr., I think he would be pound for pound number 1 on most people's lists. Now, you let me know what y'all think in the comment section. G5 Jeff TV, hit the subscribe button, hit the like button. Please share this video. Support your boy. Support good content at all times. I appreciate y'all. Peace.